Welcome to today's live. And I thought today I would talk about the ways that we're always looking for groups, specifically me. I spend most of my life just looking for a group to fit in. And hi, a group to fit in and somewhere where I can be classified. And I was asking myself lately, like, why is it that I was always looking to see where I fit in? And I realized that one of the reasons is just really being hungry to be understood and feeling like in a group setting, I'll be able to get other people that feel like I feel or that have experienced life the same way that I've experienced it. So I'll join a group for nothing. Like if I'm eating apples this whole week, then I'll go online and look, is there another group that's eating apples? What's going on? And I find it to be dangerous as well. I find it very dangerous to group humans because as much as we could be experiencing the same thing, as much as we could be going through the same situations, it really doesn't mean that we're the same. It really doesn't mean there's still intricacies that each and every person is going through. So I wrote some notes to start with. This is going to be just like 5 minutes. Um, and I just started by making the list of the groups that we feel like we should join. Um, for example, choosing if you are introverted or extroverted, straight or queer, Republican or Democrat, narcissistic or an empath, religious or spiritual. You know those groups. And another reason, so the first reason that these groups are so attractive is wanting to be understood. But the other reason has to do with the fact that many of us, this grouping system is trying to fill the need that many of us have, the need to understand why is suffering happening? Why am I suffering? Why is the friction inside of me? And then the group will come and explain. If maybe you're introverted, then it'd be like, you know why you're facing so much friction? It's because you're introvert. And then we're done. Then there's no need to do more introspection and see why is it that there is friction inside. Um, Even the misunderstood part, if you probably, let's say, you find a political group to join and they have the same value system as you do, you it takes away the patience, the time it takes to actually get to know someone and get to know them. Because immediately, if you meet someone who's on the same political group, whether Democrat or Republic, whatever, how they divide it, you like, already you have, we don't even have to discuss it. You already know what my values are. And that laziness of not wanting to introspect and also not wanting to get people to get to know people individually so that we know where they go. And then there's also another grouping, which is so the one was to explain why is it the friction inside of us. And other grouping would be the one that many of us can't get away from, which is if you are born in a certain country, then that makes you, if you're born in Japan, then you qualify as Japanese. If you're born in Africa, then you qualify as African. If you, and all of those, that makes you a certain, then, and then it's not just enough that if you're born in Britain, then you're British. Um, that is not enough. And then there's expectations of, oh, this is how Japanese are. This is how they usually act. This is how, um, this is how, what we expect of them. And then you have to follow that as well. So just those things that are there of having to join all of this. So I've mentioned, I'm all over the place. Hopefully, this is not frustrating for you. It is for me. So I've mentioned different types of groups, but what I was interested in are the groups that I chose for myself. So I've talked about that on some of the lives that I have joined the zero waste lifestyle group. I've joined veganism and all of those things, many of those groups. And it was mainly because I wanted to drop into a place and feel like I'm not what's the word? I'm not weird around them. I'm not different around them. It's even there's also a grouping of whether you are left or right brain, or right brain. Whereas in life, really, if you look at it closely in life, the sweet spot usually is the middle. That's usually the sweet spot, not choosing left or right, um, intro or extra. The people who have the most fun are the people that are like, sometimes if there's a need, I'm extroverted. And if there's a need again, I'm introverted. It doesn't really matter. It depends on what day it is. And I feel that those people are the ones that have more fun instead of wanting to be in a group. And even psychologically, the way um, we have a psychological language now in culture that you have to now decide if you fall into the group that is narcissistic, the group that is depressed, the group that's anxious, the group, any of these psychological words, autistic, and many of them, um, w- which is sad because it really now nobody, we don't really speak of sadness on its own. We don't really speak of mood changes on their own. It's immediately bipolar, it's immediately depression, it's immediately anxiety, instead of just worried. And I speak about those words and using some simple day-to-day words in our speech of like, instead of I'm anxious or I've got anxiety, instead of that, I just thought I'm worried. I'm constantly worried, and because then if it's like I'm worried, then I can decide what it is that I'm worried about. Am I choosing to continue being worried? Do I want to stop being worried and other things, or instead of depression? Because for me, it feels like a big chewy word. But instead of depression, just to go, I'm sad, and it, I feel like it opens a place for discussion rather than to just have this big thing of like, I'm depressed. It feels like a full stop. Does it feel like that to you too? Where it just feels like a full stop. It doesn't feel like it's open for conversation. It's open for discovery. It's open for introspection. It just stops there. Whereas sadness, worried, and the emotions that are considered daily emotions, they feel like you could just see the story further and investigate further, instead of full stop. And that's what grouping does. It's like a full stop. It's just going to be like, I'm British, and that's it. It's done. Or I'm introverted, and that's it. Whereas if we remove all of those grouping systems, we are able to focus on what matters. All right, that's it for today. It was just a quick live, and I hope I wasn't too all over the place. Um, and if you have some questions about this, I have been involved in many groups and I have more empathy around the subject. So please let me know.